So habits of mind are passed from generation to generation. They're actually mind locks or mind blocks that create poor financial returns. Why? Because we've only ever been told how to earn, spend and borrow relative to money. We've never been taught how to generate it in ways other than exchanging our time and labour. And it doesn't matter how much you earn, because you will spend to the limit and just over it, 116%, roughly. Habits of enterprise have the same structure as habits of consumption. Exactly the same structure. So the first thing for a habit is that we need a cue. Now, has anybody ever walked past the fish and chip place and then smelt something and it's, oh gee, that's a good idea? Well, that smell is a deeply embedded cue. Does that make sense? And if you're like me, who, you know, good Catholic boy, grew up on fish and chips every Friday, so it's a deeply embedded cue. So as soon as the key, we automatically go into a routine. Now, what's at the end of that routine? A reward. Even though you might not recognise what's actually behind it as a reward. But see, if you weren't getting rewarded for it, you wouldn't be doing it. Even if the reward, logically, is negative. But see, the subconscious mind doesn't know good and bad. It doesn't know right or wrong. It doesn't know happy or sad. It just knows feeling. So, if feeling comes via way of drama, or it comes via way of happiness, does the subconscious program for feeling care? Nope, because all it registers is feeling. So even a negative response is seen as, yep, that was good. Oh, well, it's not good because that's a conscious thing. So basically there's a reward. Now, they're the three components of a habit. Once you've got those three components in place, you press Q, bingo, the rest just follows. So if we say, well, what's the Q for money for most people? Huh? Earn it, spend it, earn it, spend it, earn it. What's the routine? Spend it. What's the reward?
Instant gratification.
A feeling, instant gratification, a feeling. Now, that process will keep you broke. But see, think about this, but it's the same process for financial freedom too. What's the only thing that's really different?
The arrows are reversed the other way.
Huh?
The arrows go the other way.
No?
The routine in the
Yeah,
is different.
it's the routine.
You're not blowing it on crap, you're blowing it on investing in something.
You're not blowing it crap, you're blowing it on investing in something. That's it. So we really only have to change one component. We really only have to change one component. It's not so difficult now, is it? All we're going to do is change a thought form. Who here feels absolutely 1,000 gazillion% confident in being able to change that thought form? So you can build a new habit by creating a new cue. You can build a completely new habit. Okay, you can decide, as of today, I want to turn whatever this is into a new habit. So you just sit down there and figure out, well, what cue would you like? And now put that cue there. And you can sit down and intellectually say, if I get this cue, then this is going to be the routine. And then, if you do the routine, then you can decide consciously, say, well, okay, this is how I'm going to reward myself for that new routine. Is that okay? So you can now build, you can leave the old one in place, but you can build a new one for anything that you want to then turn into a positive habit, because there's nothing wrong, nothing bad about habits. That's what the brain does. so you can build a new one. The other thing you can do is just when, you know, whatever money is or whatever queue you're trying to change, see, it's really, really, really important to understand the old queues are the most powerful. So if you're trying to change, let's say, a money habit, then don't create a new queue, because the old one is so powerful. So therefore, use the old one, because it's already there. And the neuro pathway is so powerful. Is that okay? So what you do is then you create a new routine, because there's the trigger. Now all we've got to do is concentrate. Instead of, let's say, go shopping, I'm going to you know, take the amount of money, that's just the same amount of money. I'm going to take the same amount of money that I was normally doing there, and I'm actually going to do this thing. When the sign says slash, you know, half price, $500 off. Now, the old queue would have said, I'm going to spend $500. So the new routine says, do I actually really, quote unquote, need that? Or is this just a default pattern? You know, if I have it, I'll look good in front of the eyes of other people, or I'll just emotionally feel good. Then you can start the question, so, well, okay, I'm going to just take the same amount of money. Instead of doing that, I actually am going to take that and put it over there instead. Now, I know people that have done exactly that to actually fund their overseas adventures, to fund a lifestyle of travel. So normally they would have done all of this thing, and then when it comes to, you know, can I travel overseas? Well, you know, no, we can't afford it. Does it make sense? Yep. So all it was a conscious decision to change the routine around exactly the same amount of money, but then fund a lifestyle thing. Same thing, you know, am I going to build, am I going to, whatever it is, am I going to invest, am I going to multiply, am I going to learn? So take that out of there, put it into my learning account, whatever that process is, and then you develop a new way of rewarding yourself. So whatever that way is. So that's the most effective way to actually build new neuro pathways. And we know that the brain can do it because of neuroplasticity. Sorry?
Can you extend a little bit on reward? As soon as you say reward, then I can go and buy myself things.
Well, again, you've got to now establish how do you need to be rewarded to reflect the new behaviour you actually want. Because it's, oh good, I can go and buy something.
That's the first thing that pops in my head.
It's the first thing, but that's an old default pattern, isn't it? That's an old signature thinking loop, isn't it? Okay, so then you've got to say, well, what would be a suitable reward for me to build a new habit? I can't, you know, we could probably brainstorm it, but it will be specific to you. It will be an individual thing. So that's something we can actually talk about, and that's something we can explore, and you might need to explore it through a series of conversations.
Well, I mean, can I give you an example?
But again, if you think about the new reward has to have some reference to where it is you want to get to.
Okay.
It must reference, it must be relative to. So it must be relative to what you actually want to experience instead of the default position, which is instant gratification. I'll basically go shopping.
That gives.
Okay?